Hello, and welcome to the first installment of the new segment, Time for Advising, where we will briefly explore resources for student success here on campus. I'm your host, Carrie Spitzy, manager of the Academic Advising Center, and I'm sitting here this morning with Miss Leslie Kelly. Well, welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you here this morning. I know that you are relatively new to Ithaca. You've been with us since August of 2014. So we'd love to know a little bit about your background. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Absolutely. Sure. So most recently I come from Binghamton University, where I worked in Harbor Academic Advising, and prior to that I had a long stint at Misericordia University in Dallas, Pennsylvania, where I served as the Assistant Director of the Student Success Center and the Office for Students with Disabilities. So I have a great wealth of experience in higher education, specifically academic support services for students across the board in higher ed.
Wonderful. So we're just going to jump right into, I only have a couple of questions for you. So the first question I have is, can you tell us a little bit about student accessibility services here on campus, your location, the services you provide, and to whom?
Sure. So we are located in 110 Towers Concourse, so right up on the hill between the East Tower and the West Tower, and we provide academic accommodations in accordance with the Americans for Disabilities Act with students who register with our office. So students who are interested should come talk with us about any services that they received at the high school level or maybe prior to the high school level, and we can also discuss any recent diagnosis to provide the most access to academic supports on campus.
Tell us more about your role in student accessibility services and the roles of your specialists.
Right. So I'm lucky enough to be able to manage a great team of individuals who are really here to support the needs of students with different learning needs and different accessibility issues across the campus. So we have a team who will review the documentation based on the clinician's reports to try and determine what appropriate academic accommodations need to be in place, what accessibility needs to be explored on campus to promote access to those academic locations. And we'll also take a look at technology that might be able to assist students, in addition to other resources that we can offer or work with other colleagues across the campus to meet the needs that each student might bring to us.
What do you recommend to students who would like to access your services?
So any student who's interested in learning about student accessibility services and what we might be able to do with them, they should come and meet with us. So again, we are in 110 Towers Concourse. Students don't need to make an appointment. They can walk in.
What information is provided to faculty if they have a student with a documented disability?
Right. So students who register with our office, each semester they will renew their accommodation plan, because as we know, their course schedule changes every academic term. So this way we can work with the student to make sure that the accommodations are appropriate for that semester and determine which faculty member should be aware of those academic accommodations. And we provide a list of those accommodations to the faculty members with the accommodation plan. There's no diagnostic information, so it's just the academic accommodations based on the documentation that we have in-house to protect the confidentiality of the student, but to also increase access to their education.
And lastly, I only have one more question for you. What advice would you give to our students here at Ithaca College?
So I think it's important for every Ithaca College student to utilize the resources that we have across the campus, academic resources, student supports, to really get connected and engaged with the different offices across the board that want to help and that have the specialists and the know-how to be able to point them in the right direction. So seeking out the resources, learning about those resources, and getting involved in the specific offices that are going to help promote student access and student success.
So thank you for joining us, and again, thank you to Miss Leslie Kelly, Manager of Student Accessibility Services. It was wonderful to have you with us on our very first installment.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you again soon.